After much ado about nothing and trying to get the right camera to hook up, which it will not. I'm live, guys. How's everybody doing? Oh boy. Yes, no SIM card installed. Yes. How's everybody doing, folks? We're going to get started here as soon as people show up. Everybody's welcome. Well, maybe not everybody. There we go. There we go. People, hello. Thank you for showing up to this slightly delayed live stream because the right camera would not hook up because, yeah, gotta love when you have a whole bunch of technology and it just doesn't work. Not cool. Not cool. Anyway, turn that off, turn that off, turn that off. Yes, how's everybody doing today? Had a cool couple of arrivals. Yes, Scuderia. The Scuderia Italia, the whatever it is. It's a Ferrari. Let's be serious about this, folks. Anyway, there it is. It's a beautiful little car. These things are fast as holy hell. Just looking at how the wings attach there. Interesting. Yeah. You're hungry. How's everybody doing, guys? How's everybody doing? Everybody's showing up today. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Haven't gotten this car on the track yet. I'm sure it's going to be a screamer. So, what has the news been recently? Well, the news has been hungry for chassis soup. That video is going to be the intro for when I do the video about the chassis flattener. Chassis flattener is right over here. Oh, hold on, let me get it. There's the chassis flattener. Yes, you'll love my baking. Great. Yeah, well, it's a bunch of silliness, isn't it? Let's just open this little guy now, shall we? This is the 4102 Professional Flattener Red. Red. I asked for red because, you know. Stop texting me. Jeez. Okay, what do we have here? We have an NSR Scan Me, which is a nice little QR code. I assume it takes you to the video. We have a thank you and a grazie from NSR. Very nice. Very nice. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. We have for the US adapter, because this is really no big deal, guys. What we have is we have the European adapter that came from NSR in the box. This is a 12 volt, 36 watt adapter. But we have an adapter that plugs right in there, and this will work perfectly then. So yes, it's an international power supply, but it doesn't matter. Nobody freak out. There's a plug adapter right in there. So there you go. Now what we have is we have the chassis flattener in question. I'm going to be doing a real video about this at some point, probably where I use that actual chassis. That was a Slot.it Maserati chassis, by the way, that I used in there. This is quite a stack of of button magnets from NSR. There we go. And the flattener. Oh boy, this is a nice heavy guy. Very cool. We got a power switch. We got a plug. It looks like it. I'm going to have to watch the video again because I need to make sure that I'm going to use this correctly. There you go. Chassis flattener. NSR. Excellent. Yes. So you put the chassis on there. You stick it down with you stick it down with magnets. Says don't leave in A mode. Okay. Manual probably, yeah. I don't know. Haven't read the instructions yet. I'm sure it's easy enough to use. Oh, there you go. You lay the chassis flat. You turn it on. As Area 51 says, don't leave it in A mode. Man, this thing is nice and heavy too. Cool. And it flattens the chassis. No more nonsense with did you get exactly the right amount of whatever in the water and how long did you leave it in there and all this ridiculousness that has taken so many people. It's like that was the joke with the video. Yes, with heat, of course, Leslie. That's the video that I put up. It's like, why don't use an A. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, you just read. No problem, guys. I'll figure it out. That was the point of the video, is just to kind of make fun of all the guesswork, all the hanky panky, all the ridiculousness that's happened because of people not being able to figure out how to flatten a chassis, and you get plastic residue in your oven, piss off your wife, whatever. So so the other news is obviously that hey Robert, that Slot.it, Policar Slot.it has a new distributor for that will be announced by themselves. That will be they will have a new distributor for kind of the vast majority of the market. There's about 10 or so dealers that are already set up as dealers, not as distributors, but as dealers directly, and they're going to be selling to those folks directly. And to the rest of the market, it's going to be Electric Dreams that is going to be the distributor. And yeah, for a sprung body, chassis flattener and something for a sprung body. Well, it's for any body, any chassis that you need to, because the chassis should be flat on any car to have it be perfectly flat. That's the ideal, of course. So anyway, so Slot.it is going to have they're going to have Electric Dreams be the distributor, and I'm sure they're going to do a fine job. They've been in the business forever. I'm sure they know what they're doing, distributing, and I doubt much will change. And there's already a number of dealers set up, and they will continue to be be able to buy from Slot.it just as they have for the last several months. It's not that big a deal, despite what some people are making it into be online. Yeah, well, some people are never happy, and they never will be. Anyway, the other news is that Carrera has lost their distribution deal with the people that had been distributing them. So, Brian, as I said, the distributor will be Electric Dreams. There are other dealers who still will be getting their products directly from Slot.it and Policar, and the central distributor will be Electric Dreams. So Carrera has lost their distributor that is mainly for Europe, or I believe entirely for Europe. I doubt anything is going to change in the U.S. And no, not the Carrera website. The Carrera have distributed themselves in the U.S. through Carrera Toys, and I really doubt that that's going to change here in the U.S. They have a third-party warehouse, and I really don't think that's going to change. I believe um, in Australia they're going to still be using Zimbler, but who knows? I posted a link to the article. You're welcome to read the article yourself, and it mainly talks about Europe. It doesn't mention anything about the U.S. But it just kind of highlights the fact that Carrera is still having problems. So, Robert, I don't necessarily think. I mean, Revell, yes, have announced new lines of cars or new models. Carrera have already announced their stuff, so the one has nothing to do with the other. I don't really think that Roller Chassis messaged me. That's what you're talking about. I don't know what guys are talking about here. Anyway, so hey, Reese. Very cool. Cheers, guys. Thanks for everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. Sorry for the delay, but I couldn't get the camera to work properly, so I had to go with the camera on my laptop, which is not great, but it's good enough, I guess. Yeah, so they're fairly big changes, and this is kind of like the beginning of the changes, so we don't really know, how things are going to work out. I don't really, yeah, no problem, Area 51. I don't really think that much will change for Slot.it and Policar here in the U.S. because they're going to have, you know, I don't think you're going to see much change. So as far as Slot.it and Policar go, I really wouldn't worry about it. I really don't think there's going to be any issues. And yeah, the bigger dealers have already been buying directly from Slot.it and Policar, and that's not going to change. So not a big deal. Not a big deal. And Electric Dreams is going to have to reach out. They're going to have to figure out who Slot.it and Policar sell to, which I do think they will be. I do think that will be a challenge for them. But it's business, definitely going to be a big change for them. So what else have we seen recently? Well, I showed a whole bunch of Scale Auto releases that I believe are going to be through kind of the end of October, well, through fall anyway. Hey, Garth. And I think that there was a bunch of re-liveries on things. There wasn't really new molds per se. Definitely some interesting stuff there. I know LEB is definitely kind of cranking up the the amount of Scale Auto stuff that they have in stock. Reese has a question here. We would about the American market. How will the distribution affect the rest of the world market? The rest of the Slot.it market wouldn't affect it whatsoever. There's nothing, a distribution deal within a country in the U.S. wouldn't have any change whatsoever on the world market. Nothing whatsoever. On the Carrera market, the article that I posted has nothing to do with the U.S. market. It's just kind of speaks to the health of the company overall about Carrera. If they've going through this massive change in the European market. So I don't really think that that it's going to really affect Carrera that much. That's why I posted the link to the article so you can read for yourselves. But I don't really think it's going to change that much, but it just basically speaks to the overall health of the company, which I don't know. I think it definitely. Yeah, Robert says electric dreams buy huge orders of cars and parts. When stuff gets discontinued, the price goes up. That's how small business works. I mean, in theory, a distributor isn't going to be doing kind of predatory price fixing, like you allude to there. A distributor should buy in the quantities that they see fit and stock in the quantities that they see fit, and then they have some left in stock and some not. Dewan, speaking of Policar, I think you meant. Been wanting to know the lane spacing specifically for 124 scale cars. It's definitely a little tight, Dewan, for 124 scale cars. You can go on their website, Policar's website, and they talk about that. I've done a few videos about that. You can run 124 scale cars depending on the width of the cars on Policar track. Absolutely, it depends on the cars you're going to run. Just like anything else, track width is just track width, right? So there's no such thing as 124 scale track. There's track that's wider than others and can run other scales other than just one scale. It's sloppy language that people use to say, oh, this track is 124 scale track. No, it's not. It's what you use it for and the cars that race on it that determines if it's able to run 124 scale on it. I know that might sound like splitting a hair, but it's not, because if you want to run narrow 124 scale cars on this track, this is Policar track, you absolutely can. Big deal. If you want to run the Group C stuff from BRM, it's going to be probably too tight because the cars are going to be right next to each other, maybe touching each other, depending on how big the cars are. It depends on how big the cars are. So, Dewan, if you want to run, your own 125th scale scratch built cars, you're going to be able to do that probably. But if you want to run nonsense, hey, Race Fans TV, very cool. Thanks for showing up. If you want to run like womps and commercial nonsense like that on a home track, you're barking up the wrong tree. You should run that on commercial track. It's not meant to run commercial track stuff. So there you go. Any add-ons for Policar track? What add-ons would you like? You can make the track up to 10 lanes wide now. They made an R5 curve that goes on the outside of every other curve. So you can make it up to 10 lanes wide. They have straights and corners to your heart's content. I think they probably have just about what anybody could possibly need. Hey, John, cheers. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Yeah, so, the Policar track is absolutely a complete system. It's probably more complete than any other system out there, to be frank. As far as, analog racing, not digital track pieces yet. They will have those. Yeah, but it's definitely, it's meant to be home set, analog, and I'm sure they will have, digital pieces at some point. They just don't have them now. What else do we have in the news? We had a whole bunch of Scalextric cars show up fairly recently. There will be more Scalextric cars showing up very soon in the US here. I know some were delayed getting into port. And I got my Knight Rider. It's back there somewhere. I haven't done anything. Am I planning to paint my track? John Kitt asks. Absolutely not. Nope, I'm not going to paint the track. I'm leaving it as it is. So there's a whole bunch of Scalextric stuff coming. I know I've been getting some questions recently from people that have been fairly unhappy with all of the kids stuff that Scalextric has been released. Um, the um, the uh, uh, the TV and movie stuff, let's say, the kit car and the Batmobile. And I mean, this stuff sells really, really well. And it really hasn't taken away anything at all from a lot of the releases, the racing releases that Scalextric have done. So, they've still done a number of cars that are really aimed only at the hobbyist market. And I think that's pretty awesome. Mr. Bean, yeah, I mean, the stuff really sells really well. Simon Wicks mentions some sort of app race timing system would be nice for Policar. Yes, it would be really good. There are apps out there. I have one of them. I just haven't really tested it yet. I've been really busy with work. The summer's been really crazy with my health and with a lot of the things that I've had to do for work. And now we have about a week and a half, and then we have our big event here in the area, the Little League World Series. That's held every year here in the Williamsport area, and it's our biggest time of year here locally. Yes, John. John asks if I've healed. My leg is essentially fine. Every once in a while, I get a tweak kind of in my knee, but I can walk around just fine now. Thank you very much for asking, John. And now I'm getting over the financial issues of it. We've had a ton of bills all come at once, and that really sucks because as we do here in the U.S., we are left to our own devices as far as healthcare goes. So if you want to donate to buy me a coffee, that would be greatly appreciated. In fact, from the Office of Shameless Self Promotion, we are sharing that right now because I'm a working stiff like the rest of you all. Anyway, if you want to send me a tip, that would be greatly appreciated. Help defray some of my healthcare costs. We have a few $1,000s worth of debt now. It was completely unanticipated. Lots of fun, huh? So why can't we get 3 and 4 corners from Scalextric? There's Scalextric C, not X, Robert, but that's fine. Because they just haven't made them again. There's no other reason for that. Plenty of people are upset about this. Martini at some point might be more appropriate. Yeah, I can't change. It's like I probably should see if there's like buy me a drink or something. Anyway, I'll see if I can change that. But yeah, they just, why haven't they made more track pieces? I don't know. They do, and they sell out immediately. I don't work there anymore. I can't answer for them. Why don't they? They don't. I don't know. Why haven't they? Why are people unhappy? Because I don't know. People are always unhappy because the stuff sells out as soon as it comes in. I don't know why. It's there's not really too many reasons why. Until something shows up and it's in stock, it's not in stock. They've been out of digital chips forever. They can't get those because of the chip shortage. So why can't they make more track pieces? Because the track has been out? I don't know. I can't answer for them. Yes, it is sad. I agree totally. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. It sucks. And people are unhappy. They're unhappy that they can't sell more stuff. I'm sure the U.S. folks are happy. I haven't talked to them about this, but I'm sure they're unhappy because they don't have that stuff to sell. They want to sell the stuff. And there you go. Exactly. Yes, Chris, you're probably right. Chris says Professor Motor has a decent inventory of track. No, Robert, that's completely wrong about the TV and movie cars. That couldn't be more wrong. The stuff won't sit on the shelf; it'll sell out immediately, and it has. The all of the TV and movie cars sell really well. It's the other stuff that sits. That the Mr. Bean car would have been imported into the U.S. and next to no numbers, and I'm sure that it would have sold. The Back to the Future car, I'm sure, sold out immediately. I know sold out immediately. The Batman sold out immediately and always will. That was a car that we had talked about. When I was working there. That I fully agreed that they should sell. The TV and movie stuff, despite what hobbyists want to believe, sells out just as quickly, if not more so, than race cars. It's just a fact. Um, People, hobbyists don't like to hear it because they want race cars, but it's simply not the case. Sorry, just not the case. So there you go. Batman always wins. He does, especially with the correct Batmobile, the old, nice, awesome Batmobile. Do people race and but do people race? No, they play with them, Leslie. This is the thing about it. It sells to sit on a shelf. Well, most cars sit on shelves. I, I know you're upset about this, Robert. There's no answer for this that you're going to agree with, other than it's the way it is. The toy cars like that, people buy them to play with them. It's a toy to play with. Whether you think you're not playing when you're racing or not is frankly irrelevant. You're having fun with a car, and whether you consider it a hardcore race or you consider it fun because you're playing with it with a kid, it's it's fun stuff. If you don't like it, ignore it, and or continue to be unhappy about it. Either way, it doesn't matter. So, what else do we have? We have, well, of course, the 512M came out. The 512M from Slot.it, absolutely a barn burner of a car. The car it's as fast, as smooth, absolutely as quiet as I've ever heard a car. I did a bunch of laps with mine just as I got it, and it absolutely screams around the track. I encouraged LEB. I would encourage any dealer, and I would encourage Slot.it to make more of them. I really do think that when that car, it has sold out already. That car, if it were to be re-released, the first version, the A version, as we all know, the A at the end of, or the letter at the end of the number, means that the stuff sells. Means that it's the first version. So B, which is the Sunoco car, which is coming soon, I'm sure that one is going to sell out again, equally as well. I've encouraged the dealers I talk with, to order them in heavy quantities. LEB, I'm sure, is going to order that car in big quantities, and if available, I'm really hopeful that people are going to buy that car if it's available again. The first red version. That car is absolutely shockingly fast, shockingly smooth, very, very, very happy. So what else? Yes, I have more information that I will be sharing this week. I have a video done. Hello, John. I have a video done about an update from the MR Slotcar Shadow. This car, I mean, there are anticipated cars, there are desired cars, and then there's a car like a Shadow, like a 512M, like the Cheetah was years ago when Carrera first made it. I I think this Shadow, I'm hoping that the execution is, is flawless, and I think it will be from MR Slotcar, because I'm sure they are gonna absolutely just obliterate sales figures with the Shadow. Um, okay, guys. So here's the thing about when someone makes a mold. I know people are more molds going to be made? Are more liveries going to be made? Of course they are. They're going to be making these cars like the 512M forever. Of course, there are going to be making more than just 2 cars out of it. Come on, guys. Come on. So they're going to be making all of the cars they can. That's how business works. So there's no way to know, Garth, what ones exactly they're going to be making, but why wouldn't they? That's like, it doesn't make any sense to even ask that. Of course, they're going to be making so many cars. They're going to be making as many different liveries of the car as they can. They're going to be making a white version. They're going to be making, they already made one. They're going to be making this other one. So they're going to be making so many of these. John's right. Don't sleep on so to get back to the Shadow. The Shadow will be absolutely, I think, the hottest ticket this year. Absolutely the hottest ticket this year, MR Slotcar. I'm hoping for MR Slotcar's own sales that they have really, really solid distribution overseas. I'm assuming they have solid distribution here in the U.S. I think it's going to be that. It's going to be the car. It's just like it's ticking that one of those final boxes, right? From the most desirable car basically ever as a slot car anyway. I mean, if HO sales are any indication, which they may or may not be, but I mean that just from sheer desirability alone, I agree, John. Probably slot car of the year. In a way that the 512M is, I mean, it's definitely a contender in my mind for slot car of the year. But it's like with a 512M, it like the feeling was different, right? So the 512M, it's kind of like, hey, Steve, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. So with the 512M, there was, I think people were finally glad that it was released, right? So, Garth, yes, SCX is going to make more CUDAs. I'll maybe have news about that. I've had some issues with SCX. I'll talk about that in a second. The 512M, I think we were relieved finally that it came. Okay, and with the Shadow, we're glad that someone's finally made it, and it's at a different level. I think maybe because it hasn't been made maybe in 132. That exact body hasn't been made in 132. Maybe it was made in a resin. I'm sure there's 5 people out there that'll correct me because one guy popped it in a resin and whatever, blah, blah. But I definitely think that the Shadow coming out and the fact that it's coming out in a racing version with so much care taken to the performance of the car, you'll see. So I have the video ready to go. I think I'm going to post it on Tuesday. So get ready, whatever. Get ready. It'll be published on Tuesday, I believe. I'm waiting for a logo back. Well, I'm going to publish it on Tuesday. I'm waiting for to get a logo from MR Slotcar folks. They sent me a couple updated photos that I cut and put in different ways and to get a report done. And I'm just super excited. I mean, you can tell I've mentioned it now 10,000 times. The Shadow. Anybody ever heard of a Shadow? Yes, it's definitely going to be a great car. I mean, like I said, I've talked about this recently a lot. I'm getting my wires all in a kerfuffle here. I can't stand a kerfuffle, as you might know. So my oh my goodness. What is going on with my wires here? Sorry, live streaming. There you go. There it is. Lots of fun. Anyway, yeah, forgot what I was going to say. Speaking of SRC, the Orange Golf 914 has been tough to find. There's a re-release. Yeah, they do some re-releases of some stuff on their. They seem to do that, which I think is pretty cool. A lot of companies don't do that, as I've mentioned a number of times. Most of the time, you don't get a re-release of a car once the car has been done. SCX. So, what should I say? Well, I should say nothing. I've been having difficulties with SCX. So, I may or may not be having another call with them either tomorrow or the day after. I don't know. I've done a lot of work for them in the last year and a half to no avail. Thank you very much. O-Gauge Trains plus Slot Cars. Cheers. Thank you very much. If you all would like to send me a tip, you can send it thusly. I appreciate it, folks. SCX is going slowly back into all markets, essentially. I think, I mean, they do have sales. They do have some sales here in the US already. They have Electric Dreams, who is selling them now. They have LEB, who is selling them now. They have Great Traditions, who is selling them now. So they do have some sales already here in the US. Hey, Cuthbert, cheers. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, they already do have some sales here. I know LEB has had really strong sales with the compact stuff that they had in stock. Take a drink here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that ASMR drinking. Water, by the way, water. Anyway, guys mentioned they'd like to have some open wheel cars from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, the problem with them is there's not enough liveries to make. You have one or two bodies that are correct, and that's about it. So that's basically the problem with a lot of open wheel cars, and that's why you don't see any modern Formula One cars. Really, you have just the generic ones. That's about it. Your pick got fuzzy. Yeah, because I maybe bumped the wire or something. I don't know. My I'm on my Ethernet cord, so should be good. I'm not hooked up wirelessly, so that's why one of the reasons I'm down here in the my office. It's called my office, and because it's just too hot and humid in the garage, and really didn't want to sit outside. So anyway, coming up on about 40 minutes here. We'll go for another little bit, and then probably going to get off. So what else has been going on in slot cars? Well, I've gotten some questions about Ninco stuff recently. I mean, Ninco is still around, but the company that's managing the brand now doesn't really want to be involved in the hobby as we know it. They have they do have some of the older molds still available. But they don't really have anyway. Background on the new distribution relationships. So the background is that there was issues with Hornby America and Hornby in general that I'm not really going to get into. That essentially led to the split. The split happened and will be made official very soon. And the new distribution deal means that most dealers will have to go through Electric Dreams. There are already a number of dealers that are already set up. Those dealers know who they are now already, and have nothing to worry about. I don't know why they would have worried. They're already set up as dealers, so they're going to continue to be able to buy as they are. And Electric Dreams will be the official U.S. distributor for Slot.it, Policar. Slot.it and Policar are made by one company. The company is named Galileo Engineering, and for shorthand, pretty much everybody has called the company Slot.it, but the brand is Slot.it. And scenery. Area 51 reminds me. So, Racetrack Scenics.com. We're gonna post. We're gonna get to racetrackscenics.com/store. Is this the one that works? No, that's not the one that works. So for everybody in chat now, there is a coupon that you can, thank you very much, Area 51. You can go to racetrackscenics.com. There is a 20% off coupon that's good for the next 6 days, 5 days. If you enter the code Slotcar News, all one word, you get 20% off. There's a lot of good things to say about this company. I've mentioned this a number of times before, but it's worth repeating. They are an American company. If you're not American and that doesn't mean much to you, that's fine. It obviously means something to Americans. I think people can accept that. I think, and the other thing is the products they make are made out of wood, which is nice. Wood is easy to work with. You can paint wood easily. You can sand wood nicely. You can get a nice finish on it. You can leave it rough. It's more forgiving than plastic. You can use Elmer's, which is a lot less noxious, a lot less nasty to smell than plastic glue. Racetrack Scenics is making a variety of unique buildings, unique trackside buildings, unique other buildings in 1/32nd, 1/43rd, and HO scale. So if you have different variety, you got the discount. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Yes. So one of the things that I think, and I've talked about this extensively on the channel here, is track scenery is really a way to add a richness of experience to your hobby, to your experience as a slot racer. It's great stuff. It absolutely is great stuff. And they've been very, very receptive. They've asked me for ideas, which, I mean, the stuff they've been coming out with is incredible. For ideas of what to make, they have an extensive line of products already. They're adding to it all the time. They have a guy who's helping design this stuff. Oh, you didn't use the discount. Well, okay, I'm glad you bought from them. That's fine, and I do appreciate you supporting them. I don't see anything financially from that, and that's perfectly fine. I don't want anything financial from them. I want them to thrive. That's my only motivation, is to get people to enjoy the hobby and to see that maybe that will help them enjoy the hobby more. I think it's absolutely extraordinary that they're doing this, and they've taken this leap to make their own products and to take the chance, quite frankly, to do some really amazing stuff that adds to our hobby in a really substantive way. I can't thank them enough. This is my way of thanking them. So I really think, hello, John Paul. So if nothing else, please check out their website. I think they make some really amazing stuff. There's their website again. And if you enter the code Slotcar News, all one word, you will get a 20% discount for the rest of this week. and it really means a tremendous amount that you guys support them. At least click on the link and go see what they have. Just go see what they have, and dream and have fun. Argonaut, very fond of Carrera DTMs. A lot of guys are. Any idea about the new ones? No, I'm sorry. I don't know anything. I don't get information like that from Carrera. I do know that there's a bunch of Carrera stuff that is going to drop soon. I got a list from a dealer from actually from LEB. Then they said that there's I forget how many cars, like a lot of cars that are going to drop fairly soon. More than a dozen cars are going to drop soon. So maybe there's some DTMs in there. Carrera doesn't really release that many cars a year. So maybe, I mean, the Scalextric releases way more cars than Carrera does. So maybe there's going to be some DTMs in there. Who knows? Yeah, so definitely prices are great for what you get in that scenery. Absolutely. And also the fact that it's made by, it's made by like two guys. There's a guy that designs for them, and a guy that who was an architect. And this is Racetrack Scenics. I think his name is Johan. And there's Kevin who runs the company, and Kevin Sharp. And I mean, we really I feel anyway, and I know some people might not agree with this. I like supporting them, but I also feel morally obligated to support them, but not in a negative way. Like I want to, but it feels like it's an important thing to support a small company like this, especially a startup, especially an American company. The wood is from the US that they use. It ticks all the boxes, guys. It really ticks all the boxes, in my opinion. I mean, if you're not into that or whatever, it's okay. Will Racetrack Scenics do custom work? They absolutely will, but you would have to contact them about doing that. Racetrack Scenics will paint buildings for you and assemble buildings for you. So you have to ask, you have to ask them. I mean, I'm not speaking for them about, what they will or won't do, but absolutely contact them, racetrackscenics.com. I would think they would make anything within reason, within what they can. And it's worth it. There we go. That's pretty much it, guys. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the tips. One last time with the tips here. Yes, because from the Office of Shameless Self-Promotion, I definitely could use the help because of the recent recent healthcare bills, and I appreciate it in general. It'd be great if it's teamed up with an American-made slot car company. I agree. It would be great. I've been asked many, many times about starting a company. I really doubt I would ever do that. I would help out anybody that wanted to start an American company, but it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me. Thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate the likes, the shares. The coffees are absolutely so very much appreciated. I will have another video this week. As I mentioned, the video about the shadow will be coming out on Tuesday. Please watch. The video that I put out today about the cooking the chassis was just basically a joke. I'm going to use that video as an intro for the review of the chassis flattener from NSR that I just got. Please support your local chassis flattener. I'm going to be using that video that I just did about cooking the chassis. I'm going to be using that as the intro for the video. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. See you all again soon.